Good morning, everybody. Great news. My Black Friday sale is on. I've never done this before. I don't usually go in for the hype around these things, but I'm doing it this year. So 20% off everything. That includes your one question readings too. So book yourself in. You just need to use the coupon code Black Friday with no space in between the Black and the Friday. At checkout, it's quite way down the checkout too. I like it when coupon codes are applied up front, but of course I can't change the system. The system is what it is. I just buy it and they sort it out. But yeah, it's further down the pathway. I tried it out last night because what I wanted to do really was have it on the gift cards. I thought I'll put a discount code on the gift card so you can like get someone $100 gift card for $80 or whatever, you know. But I can't actually apply like coupon codes or discounts to gift cards apart from doing it site-wide. So I checked it out yesterday and you can actually do it on gift cards. So if you want to get someone a gift card, if you want to get yourself a gift card, you can do it. You've got 20% off. And so you can use it whenever. And with the gift cards, say if you get yourself a $500 one, you can use it throughout the year. I mean, you don't have to use it all at once, you know. There's a bit like whatever remaining, and then you can use it next time too. It's quite a good system for that. Hey Maria, how are you? I need some moisture on my hands. My voice isn't doing very well today. I'm a little bit... I got a sore throat yesterday. And I had some pineapple, you know, because pineapple really helps. I always have pineapple in. Because pineapple is a good anti-inflammatory. It helps in recovery from exercise and stuff like that. So I always have pineapple in. And I put it with like no fat, 0 fat Greek yogurt and pomegranates. I love when pomegranates are in season. I think they're just going out of season. I haven't seen them lately. Anyway, Good Friday sale. Use your, not Good Friday, Black Friday. Black Friday sale. Use it on your readings, your healings, even the, everything on my website. Even the pick a card reads thingy bobs again too, you know. I'm a little bit asleep still. Okay, so yeah, my throat's not great today. I've made a video already and I was kind of speaking quietly. I don't know, I might have to do my pick a card read first just to make sure that I can actually do it before my voice gives out. But apart from that, I'm all right. Today, we are doing a masterclass on health and happiness, so let's do it. Yay. Let's see what the guides want to tell us about. Oh, mini reads first. Do your job, Claire. Come on, wake up. I was awake early this morning as well. It's not like I'm tired. I'm just a little bit, perhaps a little bit sick. I had a great day yesterday. I bit the bullet and I went back to my new gym. And I miss those boys. It's been a month since I've been away from there. And you know what? I love training there more than anywhere else. And it was so good to be back, and it was so good to be having fun with them again, and it really made me feel good for the rest of the day. And they're just, oh, some of my best friends there, you know, those boys, they're great. And so I'm like, why did I put it off for so long? Like going to the other one where it's not bad, but it doesn't lift me, you know, it doesn't lift me. And when my only social life is going to the gym, pretty much, it's not my only social life, but pretty much at the moment, most days, I can't have that. I want to be uplifted, right? And it really uplifts me at that place. So I was feeling good and I'm like, yay. I even thought I might go this afternoon, but I won't because my body needs to recover. You see, I'm not 100%. So, Joe has booked in. Hello, Joe. Thank you, Jolene. Oh, you're asking about your next pregnancy. Will my next pregnancy be healthy and go to full term? Oh, that sounds like you've had problems. I had a miscarriage. I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I'm kind of glad I went through it just so that I know But I don't know, what was I, about 40 something. I must have been about 42 or something like that, and oh, not a good experience, of course. So I'm feeling for you, Joe. So let's see. I hope it's good news, I hope it's good news, I hope it's good news. No, oh no, 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 no. What do you guys want you to know? Aye. Damn. You know, I've been looking into aging. I'm interested in it. Not so much the aging part of it, but how to help our bodies as we age. And it's so interesting, the whole... I listened to a podcast. Who was it? I can't remember who was interviewing who. I watch so many podcasts. But it was an expert. This lady was an expert on female hormones and reproduction and all of that. It was so fascinating. I had no idea some of the stuff that she was saying. It was so fascinating. I wish I could remember who was interviewing her. But she was talking about IVF a lot, and she was saying, like, some people think that you're taking from the egg pool kind of thing, but you don't. You're only taking the ones that are becoming ripe anyway. They would have become ripe anyway. It was so fascinating, the stuff that she was talking about. Oh, I wish I could remember, because that would be really good for you to watch. Of course, there are things that we can do to improve our health, generally, you know. And unfortunately, there's a whole load of misinformation out there, especially around diet, like most of all about diet. Some of the things we're told about diet that are just taken like as if it's true came about in the 70s and 80s, where it was just presumed, and it was based on the back of people trying to sell stuff, not of science at all. So there's so much misinformation out there, and in fact there's very little good information out there. Like the whole cholesterol thing. Apparently it's bad, but it's not. That's the thing, is that if you look at the people that live the longest, they've got high cholesterol. Because cholesterol is the thing that goes around your body, repairing it. Sure, it can be a sign that there's a lot to repair, so it can be a sign of disease, yeah. Or it can be a sign that you've got a really healthy body and it's going around and repairing everything. It's on top of the game. You just, you know, it's just so complicated. Anyway, one step at a time. Right. I'm hearing that you're going to get there in the end, Joe. One step at a time now. And this is really fitting for this show as well. Health and happiness, especially around health. What can we do? What can we do to pass the truth then and do what's best for us? The answer is to tune in. If you tune in, if you go into meditation and a regular meditation practice, and you're tuning in, what we're doing when we're tuning in is we're trying to get our heart and our mind aligned, quietening our mind down and expanding that heart energy. And you'll get to like a bliss point when you do it regularly enough and get used to doing it. You get to this bliss point when you're feeling really good after a meditation. And that shows that you've expanded your energy. And when you do that, what happens? Sure, we might get ideas when we're in that meditation. Something might come up, or after the meditation, you're more likely to have more in tune ideas. But when we're of that vibration, we also attract kind of likeness to that. So what I'm trying to say is, this is how I've experienced it. Through a lot of meditation and being aligned in myself, I find that I don't even need to pass through the information out there, because what will happen is I get guided to things, right? I don't just suddenly get, sit in meditation and then my guides say, Claire, by the way, cholesterol's good in certain circumstances, and especially for you. And it's like, oh, you know, it's not that. It's, I might get direct things in to me, like you know, some messages direct to me, but the rest of it is kind of being guided to listen to that podcast, guided to listen to this person. And then when I do, I'm feeling the pull of them. I'm feeling like this is truth. This is truth for me. But perhaps not truth for everybody, but truth for me. Like I said, I do believe that cholesterol is both bad and good. I think if it shows up a lot in one kind of person, it's a sign that there's something wrong. And I think if it shows up in another kind of person, it's a sign that something's very right. And so being in tune, you can feel that rightness for you. And that's what I'm getting with this one step at a time, is like, you probably are already on the path of doing that. Like, you know, if you've heard something about certain diets or something like that, you know, eating certain things or changing certain things, and it rings true and it feels good for you, then do that thing. But with that one step at a time, I would definitely recommend meditation more. You are appreciated, flowing. The universe wants this for you. Mm-hmm. It feels like just clues to the physical to me. And, you know, we're in a world and a society where we've kind of handed our power away to doctors, really, and doctors don't know the first thing, really. I mean, like I said, there's hardly, like, they know a lot about the body and fixing certain things, and you know, like certain disease states and stuff like that, the basics of the stuff that used to be killing us years and years ago. But when we're talking about diet and being healthy, they really don't know, and they really are enforcing things that are actually unhealthy for some at the moment. We've got to take what fits and leave behind what doesn't fit. I'm hearing that you'll get there in the end. The next one, they said no to the next one, but keep on going. Do keep on going, and just look for more information. And if I can remember, let me try and check now. I'm going to look in my YouTube backlog. I watch a lot, and this was, I don't think it was even yesterday. I think it was a couple of days ago. Let me look, because I think it just feels like that is what you need to watch. Now, who was it? Tell you what's another good thing to watch too. The latest Andrew Huberman. This is for everybody. A Writing Protocol for Health. The latest Andrew Huberman podcast. Brilliant for self-healing. It's something that I did myself, but I did it through writing books. I wrote my story out in books instead of doing a journal. But he talks about a very, very powerful journaling thing to heal yourself. It was proven with science. In other words, they tested it compared to other people doing a different kind of journal. La, la, la. I'm just going through trying to find this thing. As I said, it was a while ago. It was a couple of days ago. And I watch a lot. Wasn't her. Wow. I consume a lot of videos. Oop, there's me, self-care treats. Did you all watch that one on my other channel? Oh wow, yeah, I've been looking into that too. I'm watching a lot of videos of reviews for a certain product. Oi. Okay, Fridays. This must be great to watch. Sorry about this, but I really feel it's important to get this to Joe. I don't get what that one was about. I don't know why I thought it was more recent than this. Yes, I thought it was more recent than this. Sorry about this. No way. Shorts. Here we go. Oh, it was Andrew Huberman. Female Hormones and Fertility. Dr. Natalie Crawford. That one. Let me just get the link to it. Share. Copy. I'm going to send that directly to you, Joe. If ever anyone else is interested in that podcast too, after all of that, there's a link to it. Female hormones, interesting even if you're not trying to get pregnant or anything like that. Talked about every step of the way of female hormones. And yeah, things that I hadn't heard of before, things that women should know, things we should know about ourselves, but we don't. So there we go, Joe. Good luck with it all. And keep on going, do keep on going, but one step at a time, it says. Okay. Health and happiness. Right. So I talked a little bit about it already, but I want to get some cards out and let the guides lead the way to see what we need to talk about health and happiness. Masterclass. Happiness, a lot of it is an attitude. We can feel like a victim to things. It's the way that we look at stuff, you know. For example, when we're wounded, this is just an example because I'm reminded of this because I just did it daily and it came up in that. When we're a wounded person, our ego is big, right? There to protect us. And so we're unsure about ourselves, we're a wounded person and we're trying to defend ourselves. And say we go to learn something new, that we go to like a new class in something, it could make us feel very vulnerable. Our ego could be out in force, like pretending we know things, like, you know, they teach us something new and go like, yeah, I already knew that, as if we were stupid for not knowing it. We didn't know it at all, but our ego does that, right? And it's the attitude, it's the way that we're taking something. It's that we're not making it okay just to be open and be taught something and for us not to know something in the first place. Hey Cassandra, hello. So often we keep ourselves from happiness because of what we're making things mean. And often it's because our ego, the mind, is trying to protect us from what we feel is going to be an affront, something that damages us. The trouble is, it's more damaging by doing that. It's not a good way to protect ourselves. The ego is not a good way to protect ourselves. So often we've got to change our attitude. It's so interesting because I was watching, I watch Mind Pump show because of the health and fitness stuff that they talk about. It's so interesting to me. But there's one particular guy on there and he's got such a big ego and attitude. I wish that he wasn't on there. Like, he's got good information about the health stuff, but his personality comes through just a little bit too much. Anyway, they all went off to the UK recently, I think it was last week, and they were talking about that, and they were saying like how friendly everyone was, and they all help each other out. And this guy, he said, it made me realize I'm an asshole. It's like, yes, you are. I'm glad that you noticed that. But since he went away, he seems to have stepped up his assholeness. The attitude, you know, there's an attitude that keeps us in unhappiness, and it's often an attitude. It can be of it's not humility, is what it is. It's entitlement. There's a lot of things in society today that teach us to have big egos, right? That make us unhappy, and it makes us unhappy. So the Page of Pentacles. It doesn't surprise me that this has come out. So I want the guides to lead the way here with these masterclasses. And the Page of Pentacles is about, it's the beginner's mind. It's allowing ourselves to be a beginner at something. That humility, being right at the start of something, the Page of Pentacles. Another way to put it is like being open to learning something new, being open-minded. We need to have an attitude that it's okay to be a human being and to not know. I don't know about you guys, but my family belittled me for not knowing stuff as a child, as if like I should have already known things when I was a baby. It was ridiculous when I look back, but I fully took it on. I'm like, yeah, what is wrong with me that I didn't know that? If my parents and my brother are saying that I'm stupid, like what's wrong with me for not already knowing something instead of just teaching it me because I was a small child? That if they're all saying that, then they must be right, you know? So I'm stupid because I didn't already know. Like, I didn't already know. Why didn't I already know? What's missing in me that I didn't know these things? And that had me with this ego problem of I should already know. And so instead of being vulnerable and like, I don't know these things, which is perfectly fine, I realize that now. I didn't think it was perfectly fine, so I'd pretend to know things. And so I'd bluff my way through thinking, well, everyone else knows things, and there's obviously something wrong with me that I don't, so I better pretend really good that I know everything. And yeah, exhausting. So Page of Pentacles, it's allowing ourselves to be open-minded, teachable, allowing ourselves to be human and that being okay. And it's actually doesn't make us feel vulnerable. I mean, the ego thinks, oh no, you're going to be vulnerable if you do that. But when we actually put ourselves in that position, it doesn't make us feel vulnerable. It makes us feel loved and cared for because people want to teach us. When somebody has something that they know and that they love, they want to teach that. And it's very difficult to teach it to someone that has an attitude of, you know, unteachable, know it all, or whatever that attitude is. So the first up, Page of Pentacles, it's allowing ourselves to be teachable, be a novice at something, to be open-minded to learning something new as well. Because on this path, especially if we're meditating a lot, on this path, we will get what seems to be contradictory information. Like I was saying to Joe, you know, about diet, it can change, and certainly mine has. Certainly what works for my body and the things that I've been shown to look at in my health has changed, especially since menopause, because the body changes completely. We've got a different hormonal makeup, and so got to approach things differently. And I'm constantly open to changing it too, and learning more about that. And what is truth for you at the time might change too. So that's why we've got to be open-minded too, and not like digging our heels in going, no, I know that this is truth. I actually got I got stopped from commenting in a group because someone was saying, it was in a health group, and someone was saying that you don't need to do any cardio, you only need to do weights. And I was pointing out, as I like to point out to these very polarized people, that it's not true. Like, both are good. Why criminalize one and say don't do it when they're both important? I was actually blocked. They thought that me pointing that out was like, you're not allowed to comment anymore. Like, wow. Wow. Talk about closed-minded, you know? Because I wasn't going along with their polarized view. Because I was being open-minded, saying both. I was cancelable for that. Isn't it a crazy world? We've got the King of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. About happiness. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so the King of Cups depicts to me someone else's energy. So it's someone that is loving us. And the Three of Pentacles is about working, teaching, learning, working with people, collaborations, that kind of thing. So doing things and learning from people that love you, people that are open-hearted. So it's okay. What I was just saying about us and that teachable energy it's important to choose people in your life, to be in your life, to learn from, but to do anything with, really, to work with, that have got that same attitude. You're going to be safe with them. So not the people that will put you down, not the people that have got stuff going on in them, so they're going to judge you and call you out on something. How you should have known that already, which is going to trigger your ego to get defensive. You know, we don't want to be around those triggers. And so recognizing those people that have those attitudes themselves and just not being around them, and when we notice them, when someone has a dig at us like that starts to trigger us, go, okay, this is about them, and this is just telling me to not be around them and not that kind of person, and certainly not to take that on from them. So there is a definite choice that we need to make of good energy people to be around. In other words, we're not talking here about mastering ourselves emotionally to the point that we can be around assholes and feel okay. Sure, we can be around assholes and keep on top of our energy, but it's not going to make us feel good. And our natural state is happiness. Our natural state is health and happiness. And anything, and society and stuff in life takes us down from that point. And so if we eliminate the stuff that makes us less than joy and elation and all of that, those good feelings and happiness, will allow us, and making good choices for ourselves, especially of those to be around. Like I said yesterday, going to the gym, the only reason I had a month off that gym is because my old gym, the owner of that still owes me money, and that gym is not good to work out at when the island's busy, because it's generally just a whole load of beginners there, and if you're not, you just kind of fit in around it, and it's not that good. But the island's quiet at the moment, and it will be for maybe another couple of weeks, and then just before Christmas it's going to get really busy, and then we'll have high season. But it's quiet right now, and so with those two factors, I thought my 50 class pack at the other gym was up. So instead of buying another one straight away and carrying on working out there while the island's quiet and while he owes me money, I'll go back there because I'm training for free there. It seemed like the right choice to make, right? That seems like a logical right choice to make. But it wasn't the right choice to make for me. If I was really tuning into myself, I really missed, like, I can go there, and it kind of feels a little bit better to be at least like not having to pay, but honestly it doesn't actually make that much difference to me to not pay, and although it's not bad, although sometimes it can be bad, it can actually take my energy down there, it doesn't lift me up. Whereas going back to the gym yesterday, I just bit the bullet and I'm going to go back there because I miss them, and so I did, and I bought a new pack, and I don't really have the money for it at the moment, but I'm so glad that I did it, because I came away from it feeling great, and it had me feeling great for the rest of the day, and I'd missed them so much, and they lift me up, and they're such great guys. They've got high energy, and we have so much fun together. They're just really good people, hey? Really good people. And like that, we've got to be cognizant of that, which really speaks to priorities as well, doesn't it? Prioritize the wrong thing. Like, whenever I prioritize money, it's the wrong thing. Whenever I prioritize money, it's the wrong thing for me. I get that lesson over and over again. So we've got to choose those people that have this open-mindedness and the humility to be around, so that we don't get triggered. So that every now and then we'll come across assholes. Every now and then we'll want to listen to that podcast, even though one of them there is an asshole. But they've got good information. We can not be triggered by their attitude, and instead take what's good from it. Sure, every now and then we'll have to be around those types. But we certainly don't need to choose them out, work with them, live with them, keep on going to see them, and, you know, be friends with them and go out for drinks with them, right? Choose to be around those that can love you. Massive, like huge things will happen for you if you do that. If you will allow yourself just to be around good people, you'd be surprised how much happier you get. Now, some of you might be saying, well, I can't because I've got to be around these assholes. Like, assholes are in my house. If you've got teenagers. Oh my God, I just said that. Yeah, but you know, yeah, we have to put up with teenagers, we do. But we don't want to, right? Yeah, you've got to get more allowing yourself to be happy, which means cutting off those people that make us feel terrible. If you can't deal with it yet, if you haven't got yourself to the place of stability that you can be around a person, and this is like, I'm not saying that like you should be able to be around this kind of person at all. Like I said, why do we need to make life hard for ourselves? We don't. It's not a competition. Like, what crappy conditions and people can I put up with and maintain my happiness? It's not what we're talking about here. It's like, on the off chance that you run into an asshole, being solid and being able to deal with it is good. But for the majority of your life, that you've got choices about, and we do have choices about who we interact with. Make it good ones. Make it be those that are open-minded. We've got 9 of Pentacles energy as well. There's a lot of allowing energy, allowing ourselves to win here. Now, and that's another thing too, is when we're wounded, we punish ourselves. If we're feeling guilty or wounded in any kind of a way, we're actually happier with having bad things in our lives than we are with having good things. So healing is a huge part of it, but allowing is a big part of it too. We're allowed to have good things and good people in our lives. We're allowed to say no. We're allowed to cut people out of our lives when they're not that, especially when they're really bad for us. Even if it's for a short period of time with some people, while we're getting more resilient. If you really need to be around them, but you really don't. You really don't. You can fine tune even more and even more and even more. And what I've found is my true happiness, we don't want to have to hide away, right, all the time. But if you hide away in order to gain your stability so that you can be out there and then choose better for yourself. Interesting. Then that might really serve you. Prioritizing your happiness feels very self-indulgent, doesn't it? Like, who am I? Who am I to cut people out? Who am I not to go to the gym that's free for me at the moment, you know? Just because the other one place makes me happier. Who am I not to do that? Like, why not? Why not? We're not just talking about happiness here. We're talking about vibration. Our emotional state is representation of the vibration in our hearts, right? So we have thoughts. That's our mind energy. That's important. That's 50% of our manifestational energy. The other half is how we're feeling, our heart energy. This is why meditation is so important, because when we sit in meditation, what we're doing is we're getting those synced. We're getting them synced when we're in meditation, in sync with each other. Alignment is another way of putting that. So if we want to be a good manifester, we've got to feel good most of the time. And that's not about just fooling ourselves that we feel good. That's about actually making the decisions in our lives. Interesting that we've got this here. We've got the Devil and Temperance. This is what I was talking about. Assholes and tempering ourselves. We need to have that ability to be able to do it, because we are going to come across them. We're going to come across people that kind of trigger us or make us feel bad, or have the potential to make us feel bad, or are trying to, it might feel like they're trying to make us feel bad. We need the resilience to be able to temper ourselves in that situation so we don't allow someone or some circumstance, some negative circumstance or some negative person to take us down on that spiral. We need to have that integrity to go, not integrity, oh, I guess it is, to kind of pull back and go, okay, this is not about me. That's not about me, really. They may be saying it's about me, but it's not about me, it's about them. To have that presence. Meditation helps us with that too, to have that presence. Instead of just going into just being reactive, going into that emotion, meditation teaches us just to take a step back and be the awareness of that. Oh, I'm starting to feel this. It's probably a good time to get out of this gym and go to where I'm really happy. Yeah. This can feel like a competition now. This, with certain spiritual teachings, certain law of attraction teachings, can feel like it's your duty to do this, to be around whatever crappy energies and temper yourself. It's not. It's something that you need to call on every now and then, but you certainly shouldn't be choosing to make life hard for yourself like that. It will take your energy down. Like, it absolutely will take your energy down. People with that negative energy, they will take your energy down. Perhaps just a little bit if you're resilient, just a little bit, but it will take your energy down. The best of us, we can't be that resilient to let our energy soar and be really happy amongst that. Who could be? Who could be really, really happy and elated around someone that's suffering? You'd have to be a psycho, wouldn't you? And that's what we're talking about, these assholes, the devil. They're suffering. But it doesn't mean that we should be staying around them and trying to help them or staying around them and putting up with it. We can have compassion for them, but have compassion for ourselves too and realize this takes my energy down. I cannot soar like this, and I shouldn't be able to either. But what I can do is make a new decision and prioritize myself and allow myself to get out of there. So prioritizing happiness is what we're doing, and allowing ourselves to be a beginner's mind so that we don't have an attitude. King of Wands. Just taking action. Walking our own path, dancing to the beat of our own drum, allowing ourselves to be different, to make different decisions than the majority. And that's huge, especially right now. Allowing ourselves to make different decisions than the majority is the way to happiness. For sure. What most society is telling us to do, it's not really telling us to do anything, but what's being modelled out there is anti-happiness. What is being modelled out there, say on Instagram or in marketing, any kind of advertising that pretends that this is going to make us happy, actually won't. Actually, it's going to make us unhappy. So being able to dance to the beat of our own drum, to do our own thing, to follow our own path, is very important. And that has problems in of itself, because then we get this voice inside of our head going, maybe there's something wrong with me that I am like this when everyone else is like that instead. And that kind of thing is going to make us unhappy. So, back to basics. Health and happiness. What do we need to do? Well, we need to tune into ourselves. It's the key to everything. Tuning into ourselves is the key to everything. How do we tune into ourselves? We need to really listen to ourselves. We need to listen to what's going on in our mind. We need to listen to our feelings. And from an awareness point, taking a step back, that's who we truly are. We are an awareness. We're not our body. We're not our mind. We're not our ego. We're not our feelings. We are a spirit. We are an awareness that has all those things. We have a body. It's important. We have feelings. They're important. We have thoughts, and they're important too. But we are none of those things. We just have those things. And the more we can take that step back and be who we really are, that awareness, which meditation helps us to do, the more we can use all of those things, our body, our feelings, our thoughts, to and get like more of a control over them. Control's not the right word. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. Get more of like being an awareness of those and go, okay, what is this telling me? Or is that a good thought to have? Or But what's my body trying to tell me now? What's this feeling trying to tell me right now, you know? And to use it all as guidance, to use it as the feedback systems that they are. And if we do that, again, which requires meditation, I can't stress that enough. I need telling that too. I do it in the middle of the night. I wake up in the middle of the night for a couple of hours every night now. It's really annoying. It is because of that 11/11 sale and that stupid game. But I got myself into that pattern and now I'm doing it. Now I'm getting a good night's sleep though, either side of it, because I've just started going to bed much earlier than I did before in order to get past that. And now when I wake up, yes, I'll play the game. But then I will sit in meditation or put the calm app on and put a meditation on and I'm back to sleep. And so I do it then. Throughout the day, sometimes I'll do it and sometimes I won't. And I really need to get into the habit of doing it more because it's key to everything. And you're going to hear me say that in these masterclasses over and over again. When we're in meditation, not only are we getting the clarity about our thoughts and the awareness that we truly are and our feelings and all of that kind of thing, and not only we are practicing that clarity, practicing that, taking a step back and being aware of it rather than being sucked into it and going along with it all. Not only are we doing that, but what we're doing is we are strengthening our vibration, our heart coherence, our mind-heart alignment. It's almost like we are strengthening our spirit. And by doing that and being able to put it in practice in life, you will be happier for sure as you go through life. But as you go through life, like with your heart open and in this integrity and alignment, stuff starts working easier. You've got access to abundance. You've got access to health. You've got access to you just start being a magnet to all these better things. It's because source energy, the field of potentiality, where all the good stuff is and the magic, it works for those that have got a high vibration. And high vibration isn't about fake happiness. It's about a deep-seated knowing ourselves and the happiness that comes through, the true happiness that comes from that. It's not about faking it. This is why I kind of shy away from things like ignore this and ignore that, you know, just don't focus on those things, focus on these things. It's like, that's a band-aid that's not going to really work. It's like things like gratitude practices, band-aid, it's not really the core of what's really going to get you there. But I know myself, and it's what makes me feel kind of lucky for all the abuse that I went through as a child, because it had me tuning in, it had me in meditation a lot of the time, and which led to me having this gift, which this gift only comes through because of my alignment. I've got to be living it myself. It only comes through because I got myself into those states as a kid over and over and over and over and over again, because I had to, as an escape from what my body was going through. I had to take the step back. And it sucks when we have these, you can call them spiritual awakenings, but these moments of awareness of what is really real in the worst of times. But it's also, perhaps, have you ever met somebody that's gone through a spiritual awakening and it wasn't a result of something terrible happening? Double-edged sword, isn't it? Because we go through something terrible and we've got to get over it. And when we're getting over it, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. But on the other side of it, we've got higher awareness and we've got the ability to get to higher states. Real higher states. Double-edged sword. Has anyone got any questions? You're very quiet. I'm going to be making a pick a card read today. Oh, I don't know what. Well, we're talking about manifestation. I might do that one again like I did last Wednesday. What you're manifesting at the moment in your love life. Oh, I might do that again. I put my doodahs in my hair last night again. It's made it gently wavy. I've got 2 of them, and last time I did it like that and it made it curly, too curly. I didn't like that. This time I did it like that and that, the back part and then the front part, and it's made it wavy. I much prefer it. It falls out so fast though, my hair. I mean, it drops straight. Still, a little bit different. So, what are your thoughts on happiness? Let me know in the comments below. What do you struggle with? Let me know and we'll talk about it next time. Can you tune into your body? Can you listen to your body? I mean, a lot of people, I don't know. Yeah, I think a lot of people like eat junk food and stuff like that, and they're not listening to their body. The reason that I don't is it feels terrible to eat that stuff. My God, it hurts. It really hurts. Why would anyone eat that shit? It hurts. It hurts my stomach. It makes me feel like shit. I feel great the rest of the time when I'm eating healthy. I'm always eating healthy. I mean, it's very rare that I have any other kind of thing, because when I have any other kind of thing, it feels so bad. Why would I do that to myself? But I think people are kind of conditioned. It's like, oh no, this is a treat. This is a nice thing. It's like, are you sure? Because it actually feels terrible. How can that be a nice thing? But it can condition to, like I said, if you believe all the marketing hype out there, you will think that things that are bad for you and things that make you unhappy are actually there and making you happy. But if you keep on doing those things, you're going to get numb to it. You're going to have to ignore the feelings in your body. You're going to have to ignore like what it's doing to you in order to carry on doing it. And if you do that, you're going to be desensitized to your body. You're going to have to be numb to it, what it's doing, your true feelings. In your body. I mean, what your body's trying to tell you. And it's tricky. It's tricky because of the counter information out there and wanting to fit in and all of that kind of stuff. We do really have to forge our own way, like that King of Wands said. I want to pick a card out. I'm seeing a purple deck. Hang on. Where are you? Got some new decks arriving. Is this one? That was the deck that I was seeing. Goddess Love Oracle by Wendy Andrew. Let's do it. Love your body. Let your beauty radiate out. What do you need to tell us? Interesting. I love it. Okay, the first card out was this one, Wisdom. Remember who you really are, you're an awareness. Don't get sucked into this whole human condition so much. Remember who you really are. Wisdom. Speak to me, people. What are your thoughts around this? What have you learned? What would you like to know? Okay. Llewllyn, Welsh. I don't know how to say it, but it looks like it's Llewllyn, but it's probably nothing like that at all, because I know Welsh is like, it doesn't look like the letters that are there at all. Ancient Welsh mother goddess. She comes to you with her teachings of wisdom. What is it to be wise? How do you harness your wisdom? She tells that you came into this life as a wise being, and you have spent much of your time forgetting and unlearning. But fear not, for Goddess is here to guide you back to remembering. She will teach you again how to feel wisdom through nature, folklore, stories and myths. Or perhaps through going within, tuning into yourself, your thoughts, your feelings. The clues. She calls you to realize that wisdom does not reside in the brain, mind, but in the heart. It depends. Depends what you mean by that. Heart, you could think that that's feelings. The mind, thoughts. The heart, feelings. No. It's not in that. It's in the awareness. It's a step above the mind. There's thoughts, right? There's our mind thoughts. They are kind of running subconsciously. That is mind. The chatter, the what we make things mean. It can often be descriptive, our minds. It can be very often comparative, comparing or measuring ourselves against others, or measuring what we just did, or, you know, like that was good, that was bad. That's all comparative kind of stuff. Or it can be describing something, that internal chatter. It can come up with like fearful stuff, like this is going to happen, you know, if you do that, or if I said that, if that person said this, and then this, you know, that all of that dialogue that goes on, that is our mind, right? But our awareness, the awareness, there's also thinking behind that, isn't there? When we are pure awareness, we can consciously direct a thought, a conscious thought. That's different. Conscious thought is different than that mind chatter. When we decide to think something, when we decide to focus on something, that comes from our awareness, right? That comes from taking a step back and that awareness. That's what she's talking about here. She calls you to realize that wisdom does not reside in the brain, but in the heart. Not really. The heart she's talking about, it's not in the feelings. It's not in either. You don't want to believe your feelings. Feelings are exactly the same as the mind. Feelings will be all over the place, reactive, right? Can we choose to have a feeling? Not really. We can choose what to focus on. We can choose what we want our mind to be on, but we can't choose to have a feeling. We can choose the things and the people that are going to make us feel better, for sure. But wisdom is in the awareness. Intelligence may be a path to wisdom, but it's not the destination. Yeah, so intelligence, like finding things out, learning things, reading books, even watching me, all of that kind of stuff. It's you using your mind to try and get the information to help you to get to that awareness. But it's not the destination. In today's world, when storytelling and the verbal sharing of oldie ways, ye oldie ways, is limited, books can be their substitute. So Llewllyn encourages you to read fairy stories, folk tales, mythology, and books about plants and trees. But most of all, she calls you to go out into nature. Let the trees, plants, and animals share with you their wisdom. Goddess, it makes you be more aware. It brings you into the moment, right? When you get out into nature, it's easier to be the awareness. Goddess says she will come to you at significant times during your life to give you special opportunities to discover your inner wisdom. It's your decision as to whether to take them or not. Can you be led? Can you go within and be that awareness and then be led forward from that energy? It's your decision as to whether to take them or not. She may come in many ways, and sometimes her teachings may be very challenging. Yeah. Sometimes your spiritual growth may require you to get upset, may require you to upset the status quo of your life. You may decide to turn away and take an easier route. The choice is always yours, but if you long for Goddess wisdom in your heart and respond to her call, she will always give you the love, strength, and courage that you need. We do need to allow ourselves to follow our own path, even though it differs from others. Because remember, we're all an awareness, but we're all kind of a slightly different awareness. We're not really when we get down to it. We're all kind of the same when we get down to it in the end. But Goddess-inspired daily practice. Try this guided visualization. In your mind's eye, picture yourself walking into a woodland. Yes, you don't even need to go out into nature. You can just picture it. You notice a particularly beautiful big tree in a clearing and are drawn toward it. As you approach, you see there's an opening like a door in its huge trunk, and you peer inside. Alice in Wonderland. You see a spiral staircase twisting downward, and you enter into the tree and walk down and down. Your way is lit by candles in little alcoves in the walls. At the bottom, you find yourself in a large room, also lit by candles. You notice a shape at the far end of the room, and as you draw nearer, the shape becomes an old woman dressed in black. She has an ancient, wrinkled, but kindly face. Is that me? Look at the massive wing I put on today, so that when I relax my face and the majority of it's hidden like an accordion, there's still a little wing there, but it's huge. I do it like that. I do my makeup like that now. If I do it like that, then when I go like this, it kind of looks okay. Soul wisdom. Oh, what are we doing? I got distracted. She had ancient wrinkled but kindly face and is stirring a large cauldron. She looks at you and says, "Oh, you've come. Welcome, my dear." She indicates for you to sit on a little wooden stool next to her. Ooh, her in a capital H. You sit with her for what seems like a long time, although you have no way of knowing about the time. Although you don't actually speak, she seems to know what you're thinking and answers the questions in your mind. You feel wonderfully content. Eventually she looks up and says, "It's time for you to go. Thank you for coming, and take this with you." She gives you something significant. It may be an action, some words of wisdom, or a gift. You give your thanks and return up the spiral staircase and out through an opening in the tree and back through the woods. You might like to journal about your experience. Interesting. So that's wisdom, this wrinkly old lady. She's got a cat. Of course she's got a cat. And then joy. Happiness. She's so happy. She flings her arms up in the air and there's little hearts that fly out everywhere. Embrace the blessings of life. Let's do that. Let's read this one out. 3 minutes left. Where are you? There. Joy. Freya. This is Freya, Norse goddess of love. She brings you her gift of joy. She asks only that you open yourself to her, and she will fill you to the brim. Her joy is boundless, and her love is fathomless. You see, it's actually our natural state of being, joy. Look at any child, and you'll see that. They start out that way. They're joy. It's the first thing a baby does, starts giggling, right? Past those first few days of their life, they're just pure joy and fun, and that is our natural state. But the world gets us down, it like takes us away from that, but we need to refine that within ourselves. It is our natural state, and if we let go of trying to go along with everything that doesn't make us feel good in the world, we can get back to that. We can. She only asks that you open yourself to her, and she'll fill you with the brim. To the brim. What does that mean? Get into meditation. Have you ever had a meditation where you feel pure joy? I have. Sometimes it takes daily meditation for me to get there. Prolonged ones too. Like half an hour each day or something like that. It's happened. I mean, I've been on retreats, meditation retreats, where I'm just like, it's like I'm floating around in pure joy. I don't have the time to do that every single day, but I do need to be meditating more, and I guess that you do too, because you're listening to me. Freya knows the secret through and through and comes to share it with you. She knows that life can also bring challenges and hardships. Take it out of that joy. She's seen the difficulties, sorrows and burdens you've had to deal with, and she comes to give you permission to put them down. Yeah? Even though you can deal with that devil energy and you can temper yourself. You don't need to. You can put it down. Like, if that is my message for everyone, from what I have lived in my life, I've had to let go of a lot of things, and it feels like a hardship. But here I am being happy. Here I am really happy because of it, you know? And it's only the thought in my mind of like, oh, perhaps I shouldn't have been able, perhaps it shouldn't make me happy to have let go of my family. You know, it's just like thoughts of what other people might think that pull me down from that. Gave myself permission to make those choices, and I'm really happy. So just for today, set aside your sadness, your worries, your concerns, as they will still be there if you choose to pick them up again. Instead, open your arms and your heart to the flow of love and joy that Freya brings you. Let it be like a soothing balm to your wounds. It will surely lighten your load. As your load is lightened, so our heart is filled with more joy. She will keep topping up your heart and flow there with that flow of joy. Goddess knows that you were born to shine. You were born to shine. You're a unique and beautiful creation. She longs for you to really know the joy and blessing of being alive. Even if you're feeling disconnected from Goddess, the miracle of your being is seen and known by her. Perhaps you're not ready to rejoice quite yet. Do not worry, all is well, for Goddess knows that when you're ready to open your heart to her, and that is enough. Your willingness is your gift to her, and she will clear the way ahead. Perhaps you may not return for your heavy load, choosing instead to skip, dance and jump for the sheer joy of being alive. You may choose to step into your future with Freya's gift of joy and witness the miracle of creation in all other things. And perhaps you may pour your joy into all living beings and notice that your heart is always full to the brim. Goddess-inspired daily practice. Sit in a comfortable position, relax your body and bring your attention to your breath. Follow it as it flows in and out in a natural and unforced way. That's impossible when we start focusing on our breath, right? It's like, when I start focusing on my breath, I have to direct it because I can't like do it naturally anymore. I'm like, I forget how to breathe. How was I breathing? How was I breathing naturally? I don't know. I think that's me. Doing breathing exercises like suddenly I've got to direct myself. Follow as it flows in and out in a natural and unforced way, if you can. Consider the feeling of joy and happiness. Think of someone that you know well and love who is happy and successful. Wish them more happiness and joy. Do the same for someone you have no strong feelings for. Wish them happiness and joy. Think of someone you have problems dealing with. Wish them happiness and joy. Apply the same feelings of wishing them joy and happiness to everybody. Even if you have trouble doing this, stay with it, wishing them happiness and joy. It's the intention that's important, even if the feeling is not quite there yet. Finish the meditation by coming back to your breath and feeling your body's weight on the chair or the floor. So we're wishing everyone happiness and joy. Woo! I love it. There we go. That is what I've got about happiness and health today. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm hoping that these are going to be a bit more interactive than that. I mean, nobody said anything really. But yeah, I want questions. I want you to be a part of this. I want you to be sharing your experiences. I want this to be an interactive thing so I can actually help you where you guys are at right now. So please do get involved. And come live as well. And if you want these to be private sessions to share, I am getting feedback at the moment that people want that, but these shows, it can't be when this show is on because people aren't available then, and so it will probably be a weekend thing. I'll do the private classes at the weekend. Let me know what you want to be a part of. Thanks everyone for coming along. Don't forget the Black Friday sale on everything on my website. Not that. Black Friday sale, private reading, just everything. One question readings, all of it, even gift cards. You can get yourself one if you're thinking that you're going to be wanting readings next year. You can get yourself a gift card, 20% off, and use it throughout next year. So, Black Friday sale is going on at the moment. I'm not sure how long it's going to last for. Use Black Friday with no space between the Black and the Friday as a coupon code on the website. It's quite a way down the process of purchase, so don't get scared like you're going to have to pay full. You're not. It's site-wide. The only thing it doesn't apply to is the weekly reading program. It doesn't apply to that. That's just straight through PayPal. Unfortunately, there is no way of doing that within the system, doing recurring payment thing within my system. But everything else on my website has got 20% off for the Black Friday deal. So take advantage of that. Check out my Pick a Card read that's coming out later today. Have a great one, everyone. Let's do this all over again on Friday, but on Friday it's going to be about love and romance and manifestation of that. See what the guides need to say about that one. I'll see you then. Have a good one, and bye.